Hey, how's it going? Landon here
And Mason.
with FRP. We just came back from watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Oh yeah.
in theaters.
It's my shirt. That is a shirt.
So, the outfits are symbolic because I went into this film knowing nothing about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And I went in there with pretty decent knowledge. Grew up watching, the movies, the old cartoons, read some of the comics.
Some of them.
I read a few.
Okay. So, to the point where I hardly knew the names.
Yeah.
We had to do...
We did that skill testing question.
I got quizzed, I got it right with a lot of help. But I didn't know which weapons they had. I didn't know what color they're associated with.
But you knew all the names.
I knew the names.
And you knew that all that they all... You knew what 4 weapons they were, what 4 colors, and the 4 names. You just didn't attach them properly to one another.
I knew they were turtles and teenagers, and they were mutants and ninjas. So
He knew all he needed to know.
So this is spoiler free, of course. We haven't talked about it. We just came from the film, from the theaters, and what do you think? I'll let you weigh in first.
So, I heard someone earlier say it, and I kind of agree with them. As far as a turtle movie goes, it's not the worst thing I've seen. It's not a horrible turtle movie. As far as the movies I've seen this summer, it's probably not one of the best ones I've seen this summer. I mean, most of the really good parts were kind of in the trailer.
Yeah,
There were a billion trailers, mind you.
okay, so yeah, so there's, if you've seen the trailers, like the elevator scene was a trailer. When they first meet April O'Neil, that was a trailer. And yeah, I think they put all their funniest bits in the trailers.
Yeah. Which is why when it came to watching the movie, I didn't have any... I had some giggles, but no gut-busting laughs.
Yeah, it wasn't like other films we've seen this
No.
year. So
I had more gut-busting laughs at X-Men.
So, as it compares to... So you said compared as a movie, compared to a TMNT movie.
Yeah.
Whereas I come from a different world here, because it's just a movie to me.
Yeah.
It's not a TMNT movie.
Well,
it is, but
at its deepest core and title.
But I can't compare it to other ones, because I don't remember them.
I watched them all. Well, at least
What
one or
was
2 recently.
Okay, did you see the 2007 TMNT?
The animated one? I did. I watched it with my cousins.
How did it hold up? Or do you compare the two?
It wasn't actually bad. It was a lot more Raph-centric than a lot of the other ones. Raphael, right? Which, everyone likes Raph, man. Even though I'm a little brother, so I gotta like the mic. I need to be able to see.
Yeah, he's the ugliest one too. So
He's the smallest.
Yeah, and ugly. So with ugly little brother.
I'm strange looking compared to my siblings, to put into perspective.
I thought it was really good. I enjoyed the action.
Yeah, the action was good. It was an explosion of cinematic greatness. The CG was really good. I enjoyed the CG was pretty dead on.
One CG thing I didn't like was Splinter.
Yeah, his face really it bugged me.
It really took me out. Like for instance, Splinter had a scene with a human. And I'm like,
he looked a lot more out of place than the turtles did.
Yeah, I'm like, he's not there.
No, but with the turtles, you could tell that they weren't there. But yeah, with Splinter, he just really looked out of place.
Yeah, and he kind of looks ugly, actually. I understand he's a rat.
Some rats are cute,
but he was ugly.
He was not attractive. He's not my cup of tea.
Well, he's an animal.
I don't drink tea, so I don't drink
Or
rats.
animals.
I don't drink rats.
So
I've drank few rats. I haven't drank them.
So
Personally, I actually liked Will Arnett in the movie.
Really?
I didn't mind his part.
Wheelie?
Wheelie.
Will Arnett. Man, I didn't like Will Arnett at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always had a little bit of a place in my heart for Will Arnett. I don't know
why.
I don't know why.
Oh, there you go.
There's something about Will Arnett I don't get why, but I'm gravitated towards him.
Yeah,
it's just sort of his smugness that no matter what role he plays, he always has kind of a smugness to him, but it's not as arrogant as...
Yeah, there wasn't much to talk about.
It was pretty much entirely in the trailer. The story wasn't mind-boggling.
Yeah, it was... Okay, let's go through them all. What did you think of... Okay, Splinter we already weighed on. What do you think of the Turtles? As characters and as CGI, or as...
The CG was really well done. I mean, personally, and Laura Turtles are always around 5'2", so the fact that some of them ranged upwards to well over 6 feet. Like, I mean, there's obviously a huge height discrepancy between Raph and Mikey.
So that 8 inches really puts you off?
They were well over 6 feet. I didn't say they were well at 6 feet.
Well, they were said to be around 6 feet.
They were bigger than 6 feet.
Okay. What about the action scenes with the Turtles?
I didn't mind some of it, but when you start seeing things where it kind of defied, like, a bit of, like, the physics and some of the stuff they were doing that weren't too reasonable. Or, like, how all of a sudden they're strong enough to throw entire, like, crates, like...
Cargo containers.
Yeah, like, some of that stuff was just a little over the top for me. Why do they have superhuman powers?
Well, they're mutants.
They are mutants, but they've never really had superhuman strength, like, to the point where it's, like, stronger than, like, Colossus from, like, X-Men or something.
I don't think that was stronger than Colossus.
I think it was close.
You have to understand the mutants.
So's Colossus.
Okay. Alright, what did you think of... Okay, you said you liked Will Arnett's character.
Personally.
What was his name?
I don't remember his name. What was his name? I like Will Arnett.
I don't remember Will Arnett's character's name.
You know, there were points where she said it to him, and I don't remember it. Ah, he was a nerd. That's what Raph called him.
Oh, okay, nerd.
Spoiler. He's a nerd.
Okay, April O'Neil.
Not as bad as I thought it would be. I'm personally...
Okay, so before we saw this movie, he was going on and on. He's just ranting and raving about how April O'Neil is the worst thing... Or Megan Fox.
Megan Fox. April O'Neil is not the worst thing to happen to TMNT.
Megan Fox is the worst thing that ever happened to this film. Right, and I'm like, you haven't seen the movie? And he's like, I'm being bullheaded. And I'm like, no, you're being ignorant.
I'm not being ignorant. I was being arrogant and bullheaded.
Anyway, look up ignorant. So, but I'm happy that you enjoyed.
I didn't say she was the best part of the movie.
I didn't say that. I just enjoyed it. It was enjoyable.
It was.
Yeah.
She was solid as the role. The little things that irked me, like the fact that almost every scene she always had to talk in a breathy voice, like she was out of breath. She was like, where are we going? Like, why was she always talking like she was just running? Even in scenes where she had been sitting down the whole scene.
Yeah,
that was just weird to me.
I like that there's a female character that doesn't always have to be saved.
Yeah.
Like, because there's some scenes where she, like, really assisted and really helped out. We don't go into details, but she wasn't just a dame.
A damsel in distress?
Yeah, to save.
Which is always generally to some point.
What did you think of Shredder?
Well, they obviously know he's a mech. Largely in a mech suit.
In a mech suit?
I mean, that's obviously in the trailers. I really didn't like that. Oh, I know my next part that I want to talk about after, but... Alright, so Shredder in the mech suit kind of took away from him being a ninja.
Well, he did a lot of ninja stuff.
He kicked. So's Wolverine. He's not a ninja. Though he's had some sagas in Japan.
Batman?
He's a ninja. Yeah, but no, I really didn't like... I wasn't a huge fan of putting him in the mech suit. Like, he was always strong enough to take on the Turtles just as Shredder. That's what made him intimidating. He didn't need to have hydraulics to be strong enough to fight them. He was intimidating on his own. He would whoop them on his own. And he would pretty much relied on hydraulics here.
I thought he was a pretty good villain. Like, cause
I thought him when he was actually like Shredder, like outside of the outfit, was done well. And they generally kept some faithful parts to him. I didn't mind that.
So he's going off of comparison of the old TMNT stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, just coming into it, seeing it as it is, I thought he's a really good villain, or a really good opponent.
Yeah.
Because compared to his other people, he doesn't seem like the mastermind, or maybe he sort of does. I don't know. I didn't really like the plot at all either. It's kind of just thrown in there.
Yeah, it was unnecessary entirely.
It's like, oh hey, we're meeting everyone. Oh, something. There's these turtles, believe me, and now New York is in danger.
But the thing is, the danger was unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. It was,
With honestly, what they were capable of, what did they need this particular danger for? Like, it was really unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did you think of the Foot?
I like the Foot.
I didn't,
Why?
because the Foot are ninjas,
Guns.
not a SWAT team.
Well-
I didn't see a single punch or kick thrown by them, but I saw a lot of rifles fired.
Well,
they're a SWAT team, not a ninja team.
Well, they have to go modern day, right?
But why do they not have any ninja training? Why are they just guys with rifles?
Well, I think it's taken in because that's what what's his name Shredder said. He said like your guys are trained specifically for this. What's going on, right? So maybe it's just maybe it's an early Foot where they don't have proper training.
I'm hoping they step it up, because the Foot's supposed to be like a secret like society of ninjas, not like a SWAT team.
Well they changed it into like a military or like a militia
Yeah.
group. I enjoyed the Foot. Okay, so
Obviously we literally differ on everything that comes from I watched old TMNT and you didn't.
and I did not. So that's what every difference is. Whereas I thought, like, it wasn't the best movie, of course. Like,
No.
you have to go see one movie. Don't see this one in the summer.
No, there's a lot of better
unless-
movies in the summer.
Unless you really love TMNT. Well, you really love it.
I really do. I mean, I love TMNT, was a huge part of my childhood.
Yeah, it just wasn't exciting. Like, I was never scared
Nope.
for the Turtles.
I never thought there was any point where they weren't capable of winning. There was literally no point where I was like, I don't think they can win.
There's, like, no drama. There's a little bit, but not enough to make me go, like, squee.
Yeah.
Squee.
And they didn't build up enough fear, like, I'll explain it in the spoiler one why, but they didn't build up enough fear with Shredder.
Okay, without spoiling it, what do you think of the origins?
Pardon?
The origin.
To the Turtles?
It's a really tight origin story this time.
Yeah.
Not tight as in it's good. Tight as in without one, you can't have the rest of it. Like, if you take April O'Neil out of the picture, nothing would happen in the movie, origin-wise. What do you think of it?
I like that wasn't quite as loose. I didn't like that how they randomly learned martial arts.
Yeah, because it's different in the other ones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Hamato Yoshi was Splinter's owner, right? And he was a martial artist. And also had a 9-to-5 job.
Whereas this one is completely different.
Yeah, no, the way they learn martial arts is definitely not like that.
It's as if though it's like a Deus Ex Machina. But not really, but at the beginning of the series.
So was there anything that, without spoilers, that kind of irked you about it, that really...
Irked me? No, because I didn't know anything about the previous installments. Like, I didn't go see TMNT in 2007.
I didn't watch that one in the theaters.
Okay, well,
I watched that at home with my 12-year-old cousin.
Well, I still didn't see it,
Oh.
regardless. The only thing is just the plot with just the big bad plot.
There's so much I want to talk about that is spoiler related.
Mm-hmm. Well, really quick, what would you give it as a number?
As just a movie, I would give it maybe a 5.5.
Yeah.
But as a turtle movie, maybe a 7.
Yeah, I'd probably give it around a 6.
Yeah.
I can't rate it as a turtle movie because I've never seen any other. Okay, I have.
But you were a child and you don't remember
But
that.
I was a child and
You haven't really watched them recently.
I remember liking the old turtle movies a lot more
Yeah.
than this one.
I mean, I heard this really weird comparison. Someone's like, well, if those were made, this one was made back then and these ones were made after, what would you think of them? And I was like, well, that's a horrible comparison because they were dependent on the technology of the time, right? I mean, obviously the old one was
Okay.
Muppet, like the Henson Studio Muppets.
Would
studio.
you ever rather seen Henson Studio Muppets in this one? Other than the CG?
I wouldn't have minded.
You know what? With the old one, I couldn't tell who was who.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they took off their masks and took away their weapons, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah, but with this one, it's like take off their masks and weapons. I can be like, oh, that one's this one. This one's this one.
I think the old Splinter looked way better.
Yeah, old Splinter looked better, yeah.
Yeah, this Splinter just didn't do it for me. Neither did the Shredder. I mean, him out of the suit totally did it for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so okay, so you didn't like Shredder. I enjoyed Shredder.
You didn't like Will Arnett? I enjoyed Will Arnett.
Yeah, we both didn't like Splinter. Front we got turtles were fine.
Yeah, their CG, they fit into the scenes.
April O'Neil was fine.
Surprisingly for me. One thing I gotta say, that obviously I know is the big thing that a lot of people, the big reason, like, for me, I'm not a Michael Bay fan. He latches onto childhood things and just destroys them and just adds explosions and boobs and, yeah. Like, I mean, not that I don't like explosions and boobs, but that's all he pretty much clings on to, and I'm like, but the thing is, obviously, once we found out he's a producer, I wasn't as scared. You can say it's the same thing. I was all over you about it once before I knew that.
I already knew he was a producer, and you're like, no, he's gonna make them aliens, he's gonna ruin this franchise.
There was a huge controversy over that.
3 weeks ago.
This was way more than 3 weeks ago.
No, we talked about it, because you didn't watch trailers till... I have the text to prove it. When you texted...
Stuff's happening.
You texted me, and you said... I'm chewing on this candy.
You still have the candy left over from the theater.
It went right to my throat. It's chocolate.
Dude, do you have a beverage? You sound like you're choking. Are you allergic to peanuts?
Maybe. When does drinking help allergies?
I don't know. I usually don't eat peanuts. I'm allergic.
Oh. So, don't kiss me. So, stop. It's bad. Okay. You texted me. I can look up the text.
Okay.
Within 3 weeks, you texted me saying, "Hey, this movie looks really awesome." No, not you didn't say it looks really awesome. You're like, "Hey, I'm excited to see this movie now. My brother and we watched a lot of previews. I found out it's not directed by Michael Bay. I really want to go see this movie."
The thing I liked is that they tried, from what you could see in the trailers, is they tried to give all of them, keep their personalities that traditionally have been there.
And was that what happened?
For the most part, maybe a little exaggerated, and Raph's wasn't done right as I wanted it. Like, I mean, Donnie's and Mikey's were beyond exaggerated. And Donnie has always been still somewhat comedic, but now he's just a pure dweeb. Which, I mean, he was the tech guy. He's always dweeby, but they pushed it to he's awkward level. And Mikey was always a bit of like the hippie, the food lover. Like, I mean, he's me in a essence. But they pushed it to the point where that's literally what he contributes at. That's all. Mm-hmm. And then Leo as a leader doesn't really contribute anything. I mean, I'll explain more in the spoilers. There's so much I want to spoil right now. Because there's little things that irked me. But Raph, his attitude was just so minor. Like, he really is angry. I mean, you literally see him get mad at Leo once in the movie, and then you see him turn into a blubbering idiot at another point of the movie.
You have to kind of remember it's sort of like essentially an origin.
Yeah.
Right? And they're still teenagers, of course, I'm sure. And this is sort of their first time going on the surface.
Yeah.
That's not spoilers.
No.
It doesn't affect the movie. Right? So they haven't lived really too much outside of the sewer.
I know, but then being that crammed with your brothers, Raph wasn't quite had the anger towards Leo that I wanted. And Leo was kind of meh as a leader. He was more unconscious than he was a leader.
Well, isn't that why there's that big debate of Raph and Leo?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So, 5.5. We're going to say 5.5 as a regular movie, 7 as a TMNT movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with a solid 6. That evens up the score to about, it's 9 out of 10. So, but like I said,
for me, it's not a movie, like a theater movie.
It wasn't a must watch.
No.
It was, we're coming off this is meh.
Yeah.
This is a meh movie. There you go. So if you have watched the movie, keep watching or click on the next video and you'll check out our spoiler version.
Si, senor.
Peace.
Bye.